Welcome to Veneshow website. Today, we will explore all events of history of the world from 1900 to 2026. Hit the bell icon for educational and economic more updates. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Educational videos in economic constitutional monarchy. Okay, let's get started. That work. Okay, first of all, okay, we're on the historical large share for 1900 to 2026 fictional constitutional monarchy. There we go. Let's get. Okay, first of all, with the national flag as a de facto, let's go from Japan, Uruguay, Great Britain, Palestine, Germany, France, Iran, South Korea, United States, Syria, Vietnam, Ukraine, Kuwait, Afghanistan, Venezuela, and more. Let's get started. A is for annexation of Crimea, Arab Spring. B is for Balkan Wars. C is for Cold War, collapse of the Assad regime, COVID-19 pandemic. D. Declaration of the State of Palestine, decolonizations of Africa. E is for end of the Cold War. G is for Gaza War. I is for interwar period, Iran-Iraq War, Iran-Israel War, Iranian Revolution, Iraq War, Iraqi invasion of Kuwait, Korean War, Russia-Ukraine War, Russo-Japanese War, Second Pakistan-Equestria War, Second Sino-Japanese War, September 11 attacks, Six-Day War, Soviet-Afghan War, Space Tune Lounge, Spanish flu pandemic, Syrian civil war. T is for Taliban takeover of Afghanistan, Treaty of Versailles. U is for U.S. strike in Venezuela. V is for Vietnam War. W is for War in Afghanistan, War at Candlelight High, a fictional economy and a political constitution, World War One and World War Two. For across the nation, from the Venezuela and the U.S. strikes in Venezuela. U.S. strikes in Venezuela, weaken the tourist economic and constitutional federation with the U.S. state and firmly in different countries in the world. And they're from the most popular episodes. Okay, for Latin America, or economy politically. Hello there, my wonderful history. Welcome back to Veneshow website Economic Constitutional Monarchy. We can create with the terrorism and the war on terror in Afghanistan. We can have terrorism, constitution, economy, and politically. Let's get started. Okay, first of all, Russo-Japanese War, a major military conflict in which Japan defeated Russia, marking the first modern victory of an Asian power over a European empire, shifting the East Asian balance of power. Next from the Balkan Wars. The Balkan War, two constitutional conflicts in southeastern Europe, where the Balkan League defeated the Ottoman Empire, leading to the partition of the Ottoman European territories. Next in World War I, the Great War crossed the terrorism constitutional monarchy for differently, with half this for terrorism until the constitutionality. In World War I, after terrorism. Spanish flu pandemic. A world's population causing an estimated 17 million to 15 million deaths. In Germany, interwar period. A war of wars marked to the rallying terrorism in the constitution, the Great Depression, and the rise of fascism. In France, Treaty of Versailles, after the founding of the Weimar Republic of Germany and the end of the World War I. In 1930, the FIFA World Cup, hosted by Uruguay, and won by the country. In China, the Sino-Second Japanese War. In World War II, the most global conflict in human history, included all the nations divided to Axis and Allies, ending with the down of nuclear energy. In the Cold War, capitalism, NATO, and the United States and the Soviet Union socialism and Warsaw Pact, where the world is for holding a nuclear tension, a geopolitical, economic, and constitutional. The Arab-Israeli War begins. The Korean War, North Korea, supported by USSR and China, and South Korea, supported by UN forces and US in the proxy war. In decolonization of Africa, the historical about where African nations terrorism. Independence from European colonies, the year in Africa in 1960. In Vietnam War, a protest to the Cold War conflict in Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia, into North and Communist North Vietnam against South Vietnam, its primary allies in the United States. In 1967, a quick discovery war between Israel and the allies of the Arab countries, like Egypt, Jordan, and Syria, and Israeli captured in the West Bank, Gaza Strip, and Sinai, and Golan High. In 1979, Shah overthrow, Islamic Republic created. Overthrow of the Islamic Western monarchy, and Shah's overthrow, and established an Islamic Republic headed by Ayatollah Khomeini. Begins with the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan. Iran-Iraq War. Bloody war across the Saddam Hussein's Iraq forces, including Iran, invaded, which is enclave. In 1988, declaration of the State of Palestine. A Palestinian independence on historical borders. In 1990, the swift invasion of Kuwait by Iraq over oil price disputes, leading to global competitions, economic stations, and launch of the Gulf War under the U.S.-led coalition. In 1991, the breakup of the Soviet Union. The peaceful dissolution of the Soviet Union into 15 independent countries, ending declares of the world war. No, I'm sorry, I can have it. End of the Cold War. In 2000, the launch of the Pan-Arab Kids television channel Spacetoon, action, comedy, science, history, and others. In 2001, September 11 attacks. Al-Qaeda terrorism hypnotics 4 Cameral jets, crushing into World Trade Center in Pentagon. In 2001 to 2021, it began the war in Afghanistan. The U.S.-led coalition forces and allies in overthrowing Al-Qaeda and Taliban in Afghanistan. In 2003 to 2021, I'm just so sorry. In 2003 to 2011 Iraq War, the U.S.-led coalition invaded Iraq to dispute Saddam Hussein removed from power. In 2008, global financial crisis. In 2010s, the Arab Spring, protests across the Middle East. The beginnings of the Syrian civil war. Okay, constitutionality for terrorism. The annexation of Crimea. Russia invaded Ukraine's Crimea Peninsula. Hosted by FIFA World Cup, Russia. In 2019 to 2020, coronavirus disease is COVID-19. The Taliban take over Afghanistan. End of the Afghanistan's United States allies. Russia invaded Ukraine in 2022 with the European political alliances. Gaza War. A highest invaded Israel to Gaza. In constitutional monarchy, the Second Pakistan Equestria War as a fictional and alternate history was established. The fall of the Assad regime. Israel-Iran war across the terrorism. In 2026 and final act, the U.S. strikes in Venezuela. Okay. Historically, after the from 2026 terrorism for attaining constitutional monarchy. The overview. Okay. For the constitutional monarchy after the terrorism with an overthrow. Okay. The U.S. strikes in Venezuela. Who's spying? Okay. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.